Awesome. Hey guys, I'm at Suncoast and I'm joined by
Hayley.
Awesome. So guys, we literally just watched yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. We watched it today.
We watched it today. I'm just going to move this a little bit more to include you. There we go.
Cool.
And honestly, I went into this movie knowing absolutely nothing about it, and it was honestly awesome. I had such a good time watching it. So what about you?
I absolutely loved it. It was just like a really small film done really well. I loved the characters, I loved the humor. It was brilliant. I really liked it.
It was honestly such a good film. I wasn't expecting it to be like that at all. So basic breakdown, it's all about the struggling musician, and pretty much what happens is he gets hit by a bus, and for whatever reason he wakes up and there's no such thing as the Beatles, and I'm talking about the band. None of the music they've ever written has ever existed. They just wiped off the face of the earth.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Can you even imagine a world without the Beatles? I can't. I probably listen to them like once a week at least.
Okay, well, you're definitely a much bigger fan of the Beatles than I am.
I'm a big fan of the Beatles.
But like, it's such an interesting premise. It's such an interesting Thank you. High five. I was completely blank there. Such an interesting premise to just have like such a massive pop culture icon group just like wipes way out of existence. And pretty much he realizes, oh snap, I can make their music and sell it as my own. And pretty much
tons of money.
He makes tons of money and just rises right up to fame. And he has to try to choose between the love of his life and music. And that's like the basic premise of the film.
Yeah.
So the acting in this film honestly just blew me away. Himesh Patel was the male lead and Lily James was the female lead. And honestly, I'm so in love with her right now. I'm just going to do so much research on her and watch everything that she's in. Because as a love interest, I just fell in love with her. Yeah,
Lily James's performance was amazing. I know her from Downton and a couple other movies, but she's always really good. Her performance is really emotional. And then coupled with Himesh.
Yeah, I think his name is Himesh.
Yeah, he was really just sweet and nice, and I've never seen him in anything before, but he was super good, and their chemistry together was really awesome.
I have to say the chemistry was like flipping awesome, and you really believe that they'd known each other for forever.
Yeah.
And Himesh, again, he was just like your typical everyman. Like there's this one joke where they're talking about how he's skinny but somehow also chubby at the same time, and I was like, that's so true. He's a skinny chubby guy, but you can't help but fall in love with him. And I think Himesh really brought his character to life.
Yeah, totally average dude, like shot to fame.
Exactly.
It's pretty cool.
And what was also really cool is that they threw a few celebrities in there.
Yeah.
Like Ed Sheeran was in it, and we thought that he was just like going to be a glorified cameo.
Yeah, I thought he was literally going to be in one scene, but
he was like an actual character in the movie. Yeah. So that really caught me by surprise. So you can't talk about the Beatles without talking about the soundtrack, and honestly, I really enjoyed the songs they used. They didn't use all of the Beatles songs, but they definitely chose the most iconic ones and the ones that made sense and really worked in the film.
Yeah, you can't. I was like trying to compare it to Rocket Man or Bohemian Rhapsody, but you can't really do that. It's not as much about the music as it is about kind of the story between the two characters.
Agreed.
So there is an awesome soundtrack backing the emotional arc of the characters. And it's all Beatles music, so it's lovely. It's
a lot more like Mamma Mia than it is Bohemian Rhapsody or Rocket Man.
Yeah, the music supports the story.
It's more like a jukebox musical than a biopic about the characters. Yeah. One thing that threw me for a loop was actually the cinematography. There were a few scenes where they decided to film everything at an angle, and at times it worked because you're like, oh, getting in the mind of the character. But then there were scenes where they were just walking through a musical festival.
Yeah, and it didn't work as well.
And I was kind of just sitting there like this, and I was like, but it's an ordinary, everyday situation. Yeah. Why are they trying to freak us out?
I felt like they were trying to make it look a little more interesting because those scenes, maybe... And I noticed that Danny Boyle had some involvement in the movie, which is cool. So I don't know if he had an influence on the look and the style of the cinematography, but...
Lots of the shots were incredibly good. Like, there were so many shots where I was like, oh... Like, I can appreciate that, but then there were just a few where it just didn't really work for me. Editing, I really enjoyed. I thought it was fantastic. And the pace of the film works really well, in my opinion.
It does work well, especially when he's kind of discovering the fact that the Beatles don't exist in this world that he lives in.
They did it in such an interesting way.
It was really cool when he's searching and researching and trying to figure out what the hell is going on. It's shot really well, and it kind of freaks you out, and it's really tense. I enjoyed that a lot.
What I enjoyed most about the film actually is how they work social media into the film.
Yeah,
like they're able to incorporate Google, and they're able to incorporate Instagram and all of that.
Yeah,
and all of
visually
these
as well.
visually, and all of the visual effects on the film showing you the different displays of the different cell phones within the film. I thought it was really interesting, really unique. I've seen a few films.
Relevant and current.
Exactly. I've seen a few films try to do that, and it just always felt out of place.
Yeah.
But in this film, it really just felt like it worked.
Yeah, it did. I liked the venues and everything. Where they shot was pretty cool. Obviously, they showed a lot more of the UK and Wembley. That was cool.
I have to say, like, it's just awesome for a change to actually watch a film take place in Europe and not America.
Yeah, that is cool.
And we saw so many different places, and you were busy talking about how, you visited Liverpool and everything. It was nice to see places that you've seen.
Yeah, seeing places in Liverpool was really cool, especially because Liverpool is the Beatles and the Beatles are Liverpool. So seeing like the inspiration for their music in the film, that was awesome, a nice touch. And then the end concert at Wembley was really awesome. Like I don't know how they did it. They must have mashed it up with an Ed Sheeran concert to somehow pull that off, but it was really cool.
One thing that I really enjoyed, and it's going to sound so stupid and trivial, was the title cards. They were able to make each and every single title card feel so incredibly unique, yet still part of the film, and it all blended so well together. And when you were in a new location, you were introduced with this title card. And it sounds so stupid to say, like, to point out title cards, but sometimes when you do something very small, very well, it really does stand out.
No, it really like integrated well with the movie. It didn't like juxtapose and make it feel out of place. Yeah.
It was a very unique story.
It was.
It was a very unique story in the fact that it told the classic cliche romantic comedy story, but it threw in very new elements, and I really liked that.
It complicated things a bit, and it was interesting. Like, he was forced kind of to make a choice.
It was forced to make such a hard choice.
Yes, and you wouldn't know what kind of choice you would make.
Yeah,
in
literally,
that
while I was watching the film, I was like, flip, what would I do? Because, like, in my heart, I want to say, choose the girl. But then, like, practically, I'm like, well, go after your job and then get the girl. But that's not how it works.
It was like his dream, though, you know? So
do you choose your dream, or do you choose, the girl you think you like, and it turns out you love her, but you're still trying to discover your own feelings?
Yeah.
So I thought that was a very interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
Awesome, but guys, that was our review of Yesterday. Honestly, it was a fantastic film. It was a lot funnier than I thought it was, and the performances were incredibly solid.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I liked the characters. I'd seen one trailer before I saw the movie, and it looked funny. I was worried that like all the funny stuff was in the trailer, but it totally wasn't. Like, it was so funny. It was so good. The humor was excellent.
But guys, do not be afraid to check out her blog. That is Mac on Movies. I'm going to put the URL right here where my fingers are.
Awesome.
Yeah, but guys, seriously, her blog is awesome. I've read a lot of her articles. I thoroughly enjoy them as a movie lover, and I hope you guys enjoy them too. Seriously, check her stuff out. It's awesome.
Thank you, Gated. Awesome.
But guys, we hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. Do not be afraid to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. You're awesome. We love you.
Thank you for watching.